Good morning, everybody. It's Lynn the Leather Bag Lady. How are you all today on this windy Tuesday morning Leather Bag Lady weather report? It is pretty mild, actually. You walk out the front door and you expect that cold blast of air to grab you. Not happening. This weather is kind of all over the place, as it has been all summer. But we are supposed to get down to -7 overnight, and it's 12 right now. So Mother Nature truly is all over the place. Anyway, today's bag. So this little bag is a bag I took out yesterday to list and realized it had a couple of little issues that I have solved on its behalf. So this little bag is a bag that you can wear a couple of different ways. It is a 60s bag. That is the date I'm going to put on it for a few reasons. So it's a fairly simple bag, very slimline. It has a smooth leather surface and then this snake. Now, yeah, I'm going to say it's real snake because one of the issues was there was a little bit of lifting here. And I've colored it with my Angelus paints and it has dried. And then there was another just a little kind of bald spot there, which I have colored with my Doc Bailey's black. So I've done a little bit of work on this bag and it is drying at the moment. So it has a metal frame inside and opens like this. It's kind of cool, but check out this interior. I almost like the interior better than the exterior. It is this really plush velvet, which has given me cause to date it 60s. It is by Mastercraft Canada. The plastic cover is still on the plaque here. And it's just a beautiful bag. One slip pocket here. And it's like made in Canada, not made in China by a Canadian manufacturer or a Canadian company that gets their items made in other countries. This is original to Canada. Has a really nice slimline strap, a 22.5-inch strap drop. But one of the beauty things of this bag is you can tuck that strap away and it is now a really nice clutch. Just this little detail here just elevates it. Not only the difference in texture, but that shine, I think, really makes a difference. And then I really like this little ruffled edge as well. Just a really cute little clutch or shoulder bag. The holiday season is coming. This could well be a nice little addition to a holiday outfit. But this is today's listing. So there you go. So what's happening in your world, peeps? We are still settling into this house, post-trailer, post-summer. It's not a time of year that we have been in this house. I haven't really lived in this house for a full year for quite a few years. If you followed me from the beginning, you know I had a previous relationship where I was able to spend more time out of the house than in it because I am not telling anybody anything they don't already know. I have a really rough relationship with this house. But I will share this with you, I'm actually going to get a little bit of counseling around that. I decided not to go with my sister just because, one, financially, I get some help being on Pius's benefits. And secondly, I'm not sure I want to share some of the stuff that may come up. I don't know. I mean, who knows? Once you get into a counseling setting, what kind of stuff, comes up in conversation. And I just thought, this could get into my history with relationships and, my fears and some of the stuff that maybe I'm still working through after having spent so many years on my own. Just a different scenario, I think, for me than Pius. Pius is just so present. He's so in it. And I am too, my goodness. I mean, we're married. But I do still think that there are some things that I've got to work through. Just confidence issues. Having that confidence that I'm going to make the right decisions, and having the confidence that I'll be able to figure it out if I don't. And I think that's the key element. So I got some information from Pius's coverage yesterday. So after I finish making this video, I am actually going to make that call and set up an appointment, hopefully sooner rather than later, and start working through some of the baggage that has been very dormant for very, very many years because I've never really needed to unpack it. But now I didn't think I would have any issues, making decisions and sticking with decisions and living with the consequences. But I guess, as my dad says, wisdom is uncommunicatable. So you need to have had the reason to gain the wisdom in order to make different decisions in the future. And that's why I think a lot of these self-help books and whatnot tell you that failure is your friend. Because if you don't fail, you don't understand, you don't learn, you don't pivot, you don't try new things. But at my age, and I mean, I'm not old, I'm 55 years old, but I am getting to a point where my body is starting to hurt. There's things that are starting to tell me that I couldn't go back to full-time work. I have arthritis in my ankles. There's no way I would be able to be on my feet all day. That this little house has been a bit of a safe haven for me. And I mean, some could argue it's kept me quite stuck. And that's what I need to sort out. So I will share little bits and pieces of it as I go. I don't really have an issue, sharing what's going on in my life. I mean, obviously, as I've said many times, if you are here for the purses, I get them out of the way right at the beginning. And if you choose not to hang out with me and just tell some stories and share some stuff, then you don't have to. But if you do, Nora, then, I guess my goal in this is, one, I am a very on my feet thinker, and I mean literally on my feet. When I would study for my exams in university, I would go into empty classrooms where they had the whiteboards, chalkboards all the way around the room, and I would literally walk the room. I went back to university at 38 years old. So, I mean, I was a single mom. I had a dog to walk. I had a job to go, part-time job to go to. So I would, take Rosie for a walk, and I would study, and I would, out loud, talk about what it was I was trying to memorize. And I mean, the more I think about that style of, it's just so antiquated to memorize stuff. Put it in your own words and show that you understand it is probably more of what I think would be of benefit. But anyway, so that is just what's coming up for me. I've booked, well, I didn't book. I did some research on a library local to where my business coach is going to be tomorrow, and we're going to connect, and she's going to do some work with me on the computer. And I've been really stressing about where I can do this little 2-minute intro piece, because I don't want this in an intro piece for the project that I'm doing. And then I had a light bulb moment in my car. That's where everybody asks where Miss Philly does her videos. That's where Purse Trippin' does her videos. I'll do it in my car because, let's face it, it's not the prettiest of views. Mind you, it might not be so bad moving forward. I'm not sure if I'll get time to explore that this week. We've got a busy week this week, but if it's going to be any day, it'll be today or Thursday. My client canceled my session last night. I didn't end up going out for dinner with my client. It was a very rainy, we had hail, we had thunderstorms, and it was right in that kind of 2 hour window where I would have been taking them out. And my client is not, he doesn't like the rain. So that was unexpected. So we kind of scrambled on what we were going to do for dinner. So we ended up making toasted Western sandwiches, which were pretty good. And yeah, we just watched our show, and we're just feeling so sore. And so, I mean, Pius obviously with his shoulder, but just, like this kind of getting old thing is really starting to present itself. And like I said, little bits of arthritis. The doctor explained arthritis to me like a leak. Water will find the most vulnerable spot in your property, in your car, in your trailer, in your shed, in your wherever. And that's where it will leak. It didn't necessarily start there, but it will find the most vulnerable spot. And he explained to me that arthritis is the same way. If you've broken anything, for me, it was chronic twisting of my ankles. I've been rolling my ankles for my whole adult life, and badly. And, to the point where the swelling is like this. Well, unfortunately, those chronic ankle sprains have given arthritis the most wonderful place to raise its ugly head. And it is quite painful. With the amount of time I've spent on my feet, packing this house up and unloading everything and up and down off the truck when we had it for all of our stuff, up and down the stairs, even on the deck here at the trailer, on the deck there. But it's quite scary because I'm only 55, and I certainly do not want to get to a place where I can't walk, or I certainly couldn't do my old job. I've thought about going to see the doctor quite a few times, and they just tell me it's arthritis. But if anything were to happen, and getting back to the reason why I need some counseling, if anything were to happen, God forbid, but let's face it, it's not my first rodeo, it's not even my second. So why would I go into this with anything but a healthy regard for the fact that things don't always work out the way you hope and pray? I wouldn't be able to go back to work, which means I wouldn't be able to afford anything but this. And I need to figure that out. And it's not a slight on Pius at all. It is just my fear factor, my insecurities. I need to work through A, why I have them. B, is it healthy to move past it? Maybe, the counselor may turn around and say, well, you're very smart to think that way. Don't get rid of your house. You never know what's going to happen. And Pius is wonderful. He doesn't care. We've had a rough week and a half with flies and whatever. Cross my fingers, we haven't had any in a couple of days. So, most men would have said, let's get the hell out of here, which I think he is silently saying. But, he has such respect for what I'm going through. And then it could just be menopause. Who knows? I'm back on my thyroid medication. So it's all wah, isn't it, these days? But you know what? Hey, this is real life. It's maybe the last 7 months have been really tough for me. And poor Pius is hanging in there, with the exception of, our wedding and how fantastic that was. We had hoped maybe we'd be able to go on a bit of a honeymoon, but I don't think that's going to happen. Not this year or even next year, I don't think. We've got too many bills, too many things that need to be paid, and trying to be very, very wise and not just throw it on the credit card, because let's face it, that is just going to add to my stress about what if something were to happen. So I got to put all that into perspective and just move forward. Life coach tomorrow, or business coach tomorrow. That is something that I've got 2 more sessions, including tomorrow. So, we need to get things moving, and I am going to be videotaping that 2-minute introduction. It might take me 35 takes, you never know, But that is going to be something that I am doing. I'm going to do a little bit more research on my little car. Found out yesterday that the damage is just the rockers, not the frame. So I could get the rockers repaired, but apparently it is a very labor intensive repair, and it might end up not being financially worth it in that there's another little Toyota right now. It's not the sport model that I have, but it's a really good deal. And I'm trying hard not to just jump the gun and go and get it, but I don't know. It's still for sale. I guess people have been calling but have not been paying attention to the ad that it is a stick shift, and that is all I want. People don't read the ads. That's what this whole video thing started out, because people weren't reading the ads and they were asking me questions that I had already answered. So yeah, so that wasn't a shocker to me that this gentleman had to actually put it in bold capitals in the ad. This car is a standard. If you cannot drive standard, please don't message. My poor guy is probably getting inundated because it's a great little car. It looks in great shape. It's got low Ks, and but I just feel like I would be irresponsible to jump right now. I'm sure it may take me some time to find another one, but I need to make sure that and even if I could fix this one, I guess it still needs a clutch in time. And again, here I am having a hard time making decisions where in the past I just wouldn't care. So anyway, enough of that. Hopefully you are all going to have a wonderful day. Went to the gym this morning, did my work, my cardio here, hanging on to the elliptical right now. There's absolutely no bags on it. So, life is good. I did a little bit of thrifting over the weekend just because, I wanted to make sure that the coupons, the 20% off coupons at Value Village, were still saying December 31st, which they are, which is frustrating because usually by now they would be giving you coupons that don't expire until June next year. So getting a coupon now, I'm not really trying not to thrift. So I got maybe 6 or 7 bags for my vintage and 6 or 7 bags for my .com. So, and now I just got to find somewhere to put them. So that is why I'm not thrifting anymore. But boy, am I getting offers from Value Village. Their algorithm must notice that I am not shopping as much as I normally do. I mean, one year I spent $16,000 at Value Village. That would have been 2016, I think, 2017. I've been doing this 10 years in January. And yeah, so they must be like, whoa, what's going on with the leather bag lady? We better send her a few offers, get her back shopping. Anyway, have a great day, everybody, and I will talk to you tomorrow.